a man has a goal or an endeavor which he wants to become a reality, he will face such endeavor with determination and a strong will to succeed. Another year to elect leaders is drawing near, and it is the desire of the electorate to get people that will help bring dividends of democracy to be. But in an era where the masses are full of doubts as to who the right persons are, people that will lead them with their interests at heart, it becomes an absolute need to know thoroughly the persons they vote into important positions. In just a moment, you will find out on the program, which is the bridge between you and the service.
You know, I went through the toughest part in life. I grew up not so rich. I had to suffer and climb up the hard way. And I believe every time I look back, I see some other children in similarly situated situation that I used to be. And so I think, I feel that I have an obligation to reach back and try to assist. There are so many children like me there. When I was at that time, there are so many children like me who are out there, but maybe because of lack of opportunities, they may not make it. I want to be able to give them that opportunity to realize their own potentials. That's why I think education is not just education. If you look at most of the scholarship that I gave, in one instance I gave more than I gave so many scholarships because of mostly professional courses, because I feel that the job market now, what the job market demands is mostly professional courses. And so medical students, I gave medical students, law students, engineering students, economics and all those things. So I believe that education is the area where you can really improve the lifestyles of people, help them to develop their own potential for the future. I'm looking for political office now just because I feel there is the need for me to go into politics, to try to salvage the situation, to try to demystify governance in Benue State. But even if it was politically motivated, in fact, that's the kind of politics that I like. That's the kind of, in fact, I think that is the kind of politics that should be practiced. Add value, go back and reach out and try to help people. Invest in the human potential, in the human capital of the state. And then, because I wouldn't have known 10 years ago that I might be interested in politics. Only prevision for the fight by the gift of prophecy would have told that maybe I would come from abroad, be successful at NAFDAC, and then immediately be aiming for governorship after that. I would know, I never even knew that this government would come and take me out of my job. If I was still at NAFDAC, my tenure would have expired in 2019. Too short a time for me to even think about contesting for governorship. So I was not even thinking about governorship.
Maybe it was God's plan.
Maybe it was God's plan. So
why do you think it should be considered? Why do you think that people should jump this procedure because of you?
Incidentally, I never heard, like you have heard, that they have zoned it to any zone. First and foremost, I'm not running to be a zonal governor. I don't care. I'm not going to be governor of zone A or Jimba or Jimba or Idoma governor or Benue chief governor. I'm not running for governor of Benue State. So that kind of the zoning that you're talking about, I think is not what I'm concerned about.
Okay.
I'm concerned we have reached a point in Benue, in the life of Benue people, that this is a luxury to be talking about that kind of zoning arrangement now. And then, by the way, let me tell you, if the so-called zoning, if it does exist at all, I believe it's a fraud, total fraud.
Why so?
You have three zones in Benue State. You have A, B, C. People are telling me, oh wait, when zone B finishes, it will go back to zone A. You don't have a C.
We do have a C.
Okay, so some started from A, right?
Yeah.
Now Otom is in B. Then they're telling me that when it finishes, go back to being in A. So what about C? What about the Ikedes? Are they not Benue indigenous?
So that's injustice.
Even when you come to zone A, we have the Itilos. When you come to zone B, you have the Jukuns and you have the Nifon people. Are they not indigenous of Benue State? So is that what you call zoning? If zoning at all was designed to, in a democracy like ours, they thought about it, even as a fraud, it was designed to protect ethnic minorities.
Yeah.
That if you allow the majority, they would consistently win. It was not zoned for majority, because the majority can always win. They say if you allow the majority to always take the decision, but in a democracy, you will zone something, you say minorities should be accommodated, and then it's rotating between A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. And then the zone C are supposed to feel that, how are they supposed to feel that they can contribute to this Benue, that they belong to this Benue? If there was fair play, they wouldn't even be asking for a pastage. Nobody cares. If there's fair play, everybody is enjoying, they don't care where you come from. When I go to London, I don't care who built that airport. I don't even care who built the aircraft that I bought, because it functions. It is when there are problems that you begin to trace where the problem is coming from. But even in this fraudulent zoning arrangement, it was supposed to be, zoning is supposed to be 4 years. The first one term.
Okay.
The second term is your performance that gives you
second term.
Oh, really? You remember when we started this democracy, the first executive governor of Benue State, Aku happens to come from, happened to come from the same village. Aku did only 4 years. The second term, he won in October. They swore him in October. By December, his government was toppled. But when they came back to democracy, we did not insist that they must go back and complete the second term.
Yeah.
So we thought that it was one term. Adasu didn't even do the full term. He did only maybe 1 year, 8 months. But when he was removed, we moved on. If it was two terms of 4 years, we would have insisted that let's go and complete those ones.
Yeah.
It is even Akume, after the first term, the second term, Onongo almost won the election. Onongo from zone A. Even though Akume was from zone B, Onongo contested against him and almost won the election.
Yeah,
they would have taken it away.
That's true.
So, but Akume managed because the people loved him at that time so much, and they gave him the governorship to repeat. It doesn't mean that the zoning was 2 terms of 4 years each.
Okay.
So, but if we insist that zoning now is 2 terms of 4 years each, then it means that we are being old. We from zone A, we from Aku's region are being old. So we should, after these people finish the first term, they should give us, we go and complete our term. Then we can take it back to them, then we complete our term. Let's correct everything and then come back and correct the middle. Listen. But how are the Idoma supposed to feel?
Yeah.
When you are sitting there and you are just rotating, you say we finish zone A, we go back to zone B, we finish zone B, we go back to zone A. Are they not? And so this zoning arrangement has been taken to a ridiculous level. I heard now that an Idoma is not even good enough to be a VC of Benue State University. Wow. Or there are certain positions that are zoned, cannot be zoned to Idoma land. So how are they supposed to feel that they belong in Benue? How are they supposed to feel that? You see, if we put that, let it be performance. It came to a point where nobody cared about developing a program for their campaign, just like I have done now. I will show you my program. Yeah, because they thought that they will sit and talk about zoning. If you zone it to Mindanao, Mindanao will say, okay, or once you agree that governorship might be zoned to Mindanao, they will say, okay, Mindanao, we have Massive, we have Nongo, and then we have Hiare. Even within Hiare alone, you have Chondo in local government, you have Sherevi in Makodi local government, and you have Church in Gwe West local government area. And then you have Massive. Where should he go to? Then they will talk, and then maybe decide that, oh, he should go to Nongo, like he went to Otom now. When you go to Nobu now, they have Zoro, they have Sare. So how are you, where are you going
So
to
are you advocating for the scrapping of zoning in its entirety? Let the best take it.
I don't believe in zoning at all. If you want to move forward, just find somebody with the best program, the best capacity, the best this thing to deliver, chances of delivering to the state. With its own governorship. But when the president messes up, everybody suffers. Why should I suffer for the sins of a zonal governor? Why should somebody somewhere else be suffering because a zonal governor could not perform? They zoned it until they say if it's on the top of 3, put it. And they put it on the top of 3, then you go and suffer the consequences somewhere else.
If you were to be a governor, or if you were to be governor of Benue State now, will you support an Idoma candidate?
Why not? Why not? Idoma people are as good as we are. I studied in St. Francis College of Tukpo with Idomas, and most of my friends are from Idoma. They are of Idoma extraction. If an Idoma person is good for the position, why not give it to him just because he comes from Idoma? It's the same persecution that I'm suffering right now. Somebody asked me a stupid question. When, you have the best program, they will tell me, your program is the best, you have the capacity, you have the best exposure, we have seen your antecedents, but unfortunately you come from this. How do you feel when you are told that you are the best, but we can't give it to you because you come from a certain part of the country? You see that because you're a black, some people presume that you can't perform.
Yeah.
And I've fought through all those things. By the time I finished medical school, I had the best result from 59 students from 59 countries.
Wow.
I went on to do my law in the U.S. Commercial School of Law, but I had a family. I was still struggling to feed the family, but still I graduated with cum laude. So you fight all these prejudices, primordial sentiments all the way in your life, everywhere. Now I come here. They say that I have the best program. I'm the most qualified to be the governor, but you come from Zone A. How insulting can that be? How much more insulting can people go? And then they will tell you that because you are Idoma, you can never aspire to be governor of Benue State, even though you are from Benue State. Yeah. If an Idoma qualifies for something, he should get it. It shouldn't be because you come from a certain part of the state. For me, I would make a governor if he qualifies and make an Idoma governor, even an Itilo person who are just a few people there. I can make, if they qualify for something, I give it to them.
I think that's correct.
I don't have a problem if an Itilo person is the one who fixes the rules, who stops this insecurity, who stops everything. Why won't I make it?
Why not? Okay. Can you just mention some of? It's important that we know some of your achievements at NAFDA. Can you round it off?
Well, I try not to talk much about my achievements on NAFDA because they were well documented, and I don't want to be the one running my talking about my achievement. But there are the modest achievements that I did at NAFDA. First and foremost, I was the one who introduced this through scan, the handheld device that enables somebody to, on the spot, detect counterfeit medicines, and we use that to try to clean up the counterfeit medicines in the country. And then, for most antibiotics, antimalarials, and some the most often counterfeited medicines, we developed this scratch and text method. That's the SMS to enable, put the power of detection of counterfeit medicines in the hands of millions. More than almost 100 million Nigerians use cell phones, and they can scratch and recharge their credit with the scratch cards. So we leverage on that technology to protect medicines. Now, the millions of Nigerians that use cell phones can scratch, text, and authenticate their medicines on the spot even before they pay for the medicine, decide whether it is fake. Doing that, we immediately had, as if every Nigerian who walked into a pharmacy store with a cell phone in hand became a potential informant to NAFDA. Because once he found counterfeit medicine, we had a line where he could call and report. And immediately we send our enforcement unit there to go and carry out enforcement and wipe out the counterfeit medicines. By doing that, we were able to reduce the incidence of counterfeit medicines from more than 60% to about 3.6% by the time I left NAFDA.
Wow.
3.6%, this was a record. So I think that was a very great achievement. But we even went further. I wanted to improve the quality. Before I came to NAFDAC, not many people wanted to buy any Nigerian medicines.
That's true.
But we tried to improve. We brought the WHO, we brought the World Health Organization and others to come and look at our facilities that produce medicine, upgrade. We encourage our producers, manufacturers here to upgrade their pharmaceutical companies to produce medicine that could stand, could be sold internationally. And right now, we have some of the best companies. In fact, they are going to get WHO approval to begin to market their medicine. Some of them are already marketing their medicines in other countries, not just within Nigeria. So thanks to what we are doing at NAFDAC, we were recognized internationally. I was, from 2009 to 2012, I was the Vice Chairman of the International Medical Products Anti-Counterfeiting Task Force, made up of 193 countries, headquartered in Geneva. And when in 2012 they established the World Health Organization mechanism on counterfeit, we call it spurious, substandard, falsified, fake counterfeit medical products, SSFC, became the first chairman of the steering committee of that prestigious organization made up of 190 something countries.
Wow.
In Geneva. And within the country here, I was recognized within 3 years of my serving at NAFDAC. I got the national honors of the Officer of the Order of the Niger. I've contributed my own bit, even in the area of drug regulation, not just drug regulation, but and of course I was a central part of the Ministry of Health when we fought Ebola virus. I made major contributions to fighting that Ebola virus, and we succeeded. We had a record that is globally known as the best record in fighting Ebola virus. Even the US were calling me to calling our ministry to find out how we did it. It's become a global case study on how to fight Ebola virus. Netherlands generated from vegetables alone. They made more than 4.9 billion euros from vegetables and flowers. I believe we can do better. If you plant vegetables along the river Benue coast and along the river Kasnala for kilometers on end, I think within 2-3 months you begin to harvest the vegetables and market them. You should be able to generate a lot of money. Then you look at rice. Within 3 months, Nigeria imports rice annually worth more than 500 billion naira, and that is the official figures. Of course, there is the informal trade. While I was at NAFDAC, I knew that Nigeria, the statistics we had was not, Nigeria was importing rice worth more than 500 billion naira every year. Benue alone can produce that much rice if you focus on rice production. So it means then that there is 500 billion naira out there to be captured by Benue State every year. But I'm targeting just very conservatively just 10%. If we focus on rice production and can capture 10% of the rice requirement of Nigeria, that would be 50 billion naira. It is still more than what we get from the Federation account. And that will provide jobs to our people. So we have a lot of potential. Everywhere you look is potential. Soybean potential is very huge. We have so many companies that are using soybean now as animal feeds. In Benue alone, if we develop animal, I'm not even going into animal production yet. The pigs that Susan brought from Iowa, the state of Iowa makes, the other year they made $7.5 billion from those pigs. There's no international hotel in this country or beyond that does not serve breakfast with bacon, pork sausages, and other pork products. If you go to America, things like pork ribs are a delicacy. People do barbecue and they do the pork rib barbecue. It's a delicacy. If you go to Benue State, people consume a lot of pork. And those pigs are brought from Kafanchan and from Kefi here. Whereas we have our own good quality pigs that we have imported from Iowa by our former governor, Suswan. And we even sent people who were trained on artificial insemination so we could produce a lot of this pig within a very short period of time. I have a farm where these pigs, within they are pregnant within 6 months. They have each mother has about 20 piglets, and within 6-7 months they are ready. If you fatten them, they are ready for consumption. So if you start producing pork products, I visited a factory in Shanghai, China. All they do, they process pork, they process rice. From rice they make canned rice pudding, and from the pork they make canned pork. They make sausages, they make bacon, then they make also ham, and they generate $2 billion a year. One company. I'm saying Benue, if we can, as the whole, from agriculture, from the pigs, from cow. I'm not even talking about cows here, because cows, goats, these dwarf goats, you can make a lot of money. That's why we have very good grass. That's why the herdsmen come all the way from Sokoto down to Benue to graze their cows, because our grass is very good. If you did ranching very well, appropriately, even providing grass to these ranches would be another source of income for many families. And working on the ranches themselves can be a lot of income for other families. The herdsmen themselves will benefit much more, because their cows will be better fed with good quality feeds. They can produce more milk. In other climes, in Netherlands, for example, the milk is even brings more income to the herdsmen than the meat itself. Netherlands last year, or 2016 actually, I've not looked at the data for last year. 2016, they made more than 13 billion euros from milk alone. You take the milk, they extracted the fats, which is marshmallow here, we call it marshmallow. They extracted those fats. Those fats, they made about 5 billion euros from that.
Wow.
Then they took, that's the butter that you eat, even on flights and everything. That butter, you see Hollandia butter, that's the fats from the cows, the cow milk. The remaining milk, they extract cheese from there. The cheese, they make a lot of money from cheese. You know, a slice of cheese is very expensive. Israel grosses about $3 billion every year from vegetables and fruits. Israel, on top of that, has the most productive cow. We call it the Israeli super cow, that produces about 12,000 liters of milk a cow every year. So that makes Israel the land of milk and honey. A cow producing 2,000 liters of milk a year, and about 95% of the food that is consumed in Israel is actually made in Israel. So Israel can feed itself and then even export vegetables and flowers and fruits and make more than $3 billion from the sale of vegetables and flowers. So if Israel can do that, talk more of Benue State that has a bigger land mass, almost twice that of Israel, or at least 1.5 that of Israel, and with a very fertile land with 2 rivers. If you look at the history of Egypt, when they say mention Egypt, what immediately comes to mind is the river Nile. In Benue, they even named the state after the river Benue, and yet nobody talks about Benue without mentions even the Benue River, because it doesn't contribute to the economy of the state. There are so many things we could get from the river Benue. Even the bridge construction alone can become a beauty, an attraction, a site attraction site for tourists to come and visit Benue. Just look at the river, the bridge connecting Ikoyi and Lekki, that new bridge. Right now, when you are showing, even in the movie, you are talking about Lagos, that is what they show it. When Mark Zuckerberg came here, the owner of this Facebook and all those, that is where he went jogging. So you can see a bridge alone can become a huge attraction, can attract people to a particular city. As big as Lagos is, that small bridge is the one now that attracts a lot of people. When they go to Lagos, that's where they want to go and hang out. So you see, a lot of things can be done. The river Benue, if you have good boats, can take people all the way from Buruku, all the way families on the weekend. They sell drinks and food while they are cruising on the river. It's a lot of potential that Benue State has in different areas, everywhere you look. I can go on in the area of agriculture, but my target, and thank God the federal government, in its infinite wisdom, has cited the Federal University of Agriculture in Benue State deliberately to enable Benue take advantage of the huge agricultural potentials in the state. Apart from that, you see the Orhii College of Agriculture. With these two institutions and experts, we'll be doing a lot in the area of agriculture and generating more than $1 billion a year initially. But who says we cannot do 2 billion? Who says we cannot even do 5% of what Netherlands does? That would be $5 billion. What are you going to do now with that huge quantity of money? Benue will be richer than even the oil producing states. Most people do not take government business as their own business because they think it's nobody's business. You have to create ownership. What I propose to do is to create cooperatives. Cooperatives, for example, let me give an example. You say we are going to produce 2 million cows a year, right?
Yeah.
You have 2 million cows. Why am I saying 2 million cows? You want to target milk production, for example. You say I'm going to have 2 million cows and maybe get a hybrid cow that can produce 20 liters of milk on the average per day. So if you have 2 million cows, it means that each of them produces 20 liters of milk a day. It means multiply that by 20, by 2 million. That's the amount of milk you are producing per day. If you look at the population of Benue State, we have about 1 million families. Because we have about 4.something million people in Benue State. So approximately, if you take it that it's 4 or 5 people per family, then that's 1 million families, approximately. So it means that notionally, the 2 million cows are owned by 1 million families. So it means that every family has 2 cows. Every family has 2 cows producing 20 liters of milk each. It means that every family is producing 40 liters of milk every day, 280 liters of milk every week.
The psychological, you make them believe that they own a cow.
Not just psychological, you create a cooperative of milk producers, Benue Milk Producer Cooperative, where every family is encouraged or invited to
participate,
to enroll inside and become a member. Once you are a member, it means that your family now owns 2 cows. With your family owning 2 cows, if you are producing 280 liters of milk every week, if they sell it, they pay after payment of the ranch, the running of the ranch, payment of the debt where we got it to buy these cows and run the ranches and all those things. Payment of everything, you still have maybe, if every family has about 5,000 naira. In a month, that's about 20,000 naira per family. You know, that's a huge income for families. Right now, there are families in Benue State that cannot generate even 5,000 naira a month. A child drops out of school because of 1,000 naira or because of uniform and never goes back.
That's true.
There are children that are dying because of 500 naira or 200 naira, they cannot buy Panadol, pain reliever for the child, or anti-malarials. Some children end up dying. But if a family is generating 20,000 naira a month, that's a lot of money. So just by belonging to that cooperative of cow producers, why do you want it to be cooperative? Because now everybody becomes interested. It is what you generate, the cooperative generates from this milk that they share dividends at the end of maybe any specified period of time. So everybody becomes interested, every family becomes interested. You lease land from the family, the family now has the opportunity to work on the ranches, and then they are paid for becoming for leasing their land to the ranch. It's perpetual. You are not going to buy off the land, because if you buy off the land, they are not interested in the business continuing again. So I tell them it's a lease, and we're going to pay you a percentage of what we generate from this land. So now perpetually they know that farm has to survive, because that's where the income is.
Have a stake.
They have a stake. They have a direct stake in it, and they are also working on that farm and getting the paycheck for working on that farm. So one check for being a member of the cooperative, one check for renting your land, and one check for working on that farm. 3 paychecks. It creates wealth. So this is how ownership will be. If you and then you create what I wanted to propose: create a marketing board, the Benue State Marketing Board, that buys all this milk, adds value, processes it in these industries that we are supposed to own, that we are selling now. Would have processed that. Those industries would have been owned by the marketing board. They buy the.
But now you're talking, assuming they are sold, will you still buy them back? Or what would you do?
Well, we will review the sale and to make sure that if it is transparent, we could start new ones. We could do something different. But I don't believe that they should have been sold because I believe that it will not be transparent. It will never be transparent. These people are trying to devalue everything, sell it to their cronies, buy it as pennies. First and foremost, there's no way you can sell at some of the factories. You see that the government has already pumped so much money into it. A factory that could have easily been built for 200 million naira, you find out that maybe 2 billion naira was spent on establishing that factory. How are you going to sell it and make and recover the money? And then Benue State, especially this administration, is not known for accounting for resources that accrue to the state. It's not that big on accounting for resources. So I believe that even the proceeds from the sale will go the same way. If you receive 28 billion naira as from the federal government to go and pay salaries, and it's missing somewhere, you receive another parish club of 20 something billion naira is missing somewhere. I don't know when you are going to start accounting for sales of maybe a tarakumi that maybe after government has spent 2 billion naira or 3 billion or 5 billion naira, the factory come and sell it for maybe 200 million naira. I don't know where the money will go.
It's your money too, so you can make him account for it, don't you think? There's freedom of information bill now. You can just.
Incidentally, I do not plan to go back doing the same way this administration has done, going back to look at the previous administration. My own decision is to draw the line where I meet it, and then begin to see how I can build Benue State. Benue State has enough challenges. If you start going back to look at what the previous administration did, you might not even have time to be able to develop your own programs. If you really want the people to benefit, draw the line from where you made the decision, and then and start developing and see how you can go forward. I believe that I will deliver because I see the potentials. I see, it depends on your level of exposure. When I came to NAFDAC, I delivered. You know that at NAFDAC, my budget I never ever got up to 100 million naira a year at NAFDAC. And yet our diesel and electricity supply alone, was more than 100 million a year. Running the 7 laboratories. I generated enough income. When I came to NAFDAC, the income generation was just about 3 billion naira. By the time I left NAFDAC, I was generating more than up to 9 billion naira a year.
Okay, so
to run NAFDAC. So, and yet, I did not put stress on the sector. In fact, even the people who participated were making more money and they were enjoying themselves. So I know how to run an organization like that. It depends on your level of exposure, whether you can run it or you cannot run it. I have sold my programs to in fact, or even all the way to the federal government. If you remember, you used to come to NAFDAC. I established a desk at NAFDAC to evaluate products for export, agricultural products for exports. Because in 2011, when I attended AGOA, that's African Growth and Opportunity Act in Washington, D.C., I remember at that meeting I met this Konjo Wela, who later, just before he came back as the coordinating minister of the economy. And we heard clearly that America was going to diversify away from dependence on crude oil. They were looking for renewable energies, and crude oil was not one of the energies that they wanted. So we knew that would punish Nigeria. Just like now, I'm warning people, Tesla is developing electric cars. France, China, and other countries have said that they will stop using crude oil. Cars that are propelled by fossil oils. They want to use electric cars. They have even given deadlines. France has said by 2040. China has even gone further by saying by 2025 they should stop using. If you go to China right now, there are electric buses, electric cars, electric that are running, trains that are running. In fact, about 5 years ago when I visited Norway and Sweden, what I saw, instead of a gas station that we have here, they had a recharge station where they would recharge their car and move on.
Yeah.
So we're moving away from all this oil. After some time, nobody wants their crude oil.
Yeah.
So I've been telling the successive governments in Benue State, in my writings, in everything that I've done, even when he came, I went and told him that he should try to generate at least 100 billion naira from agriculture. But you see, it depends on the mindset. If you didn't come in with that program and you don't open your mind to it, you may not even see the potential, even when someone tells you.
That's true.
And then apart from that, working as a DJ of NAFDAC and then with my international exposure exposed me to most of the potential that I'm talking about. For example, I visited a factory that slaughters about 2,000 cows a day in Italy. I inspected a factory like that because they wanted to import their products to Nigeria, to the corned beef to Nigeria and other beef products. And so I had to inspect the factory. I went to Italy in Firenze. This cow, you see how they treat this cow. These cows are brought in from China, when they are, from France, and then each of them has a chip that tells exactly what they consume on a daily basis, when they were born, what they have been eating on a daily basis. Everything that happens to that cow is inputted into a computer and is stored in that chip. By the time they are 18 months old, they are all slaughtered on the same day, and then they pass through a system where you see part of it is going for sausages, part of it is going to corned beef, the hide, the skin is going as cow hide, and the bones are going somewhere else. So nothing is wasted in this cow. As the cow is passing through, so you have to be exposed to some of these things to know when somebody is talking about these things. You know, sometimes if you're not being directly exposed to it, when somebody tells you, you think maybe they're just talking rubbish.
You have said so many things about agriculture, and it seems you are going to be focusing on agriculture because clearly that's the potential your state holds. However, agriculture in whatsoever form is very, very expensive. And on this scale you're proposing is even fearful. How and where do you hope to source for this funds? Benue is already highly indebted.
Once you mention Benue in the area of agriculture, anywhere in the world, people jump up because they know the potential that is on ground. So sourcing for funds to engage in agriculture will not be a big challenge. We are borrowing money. You hear about 10 billion, 20 billion, 40 billion that goes to waste. Here you are talking about investing that money in something that the turnaround will be within months. It's not even a year. If you invest 10 billion naira in producing rice in Benue State, you know that within 3 months you will harvest that rice. For example, you want to do okra that I told you about. You want to cultivate okra. And you say the cooperative, first and foremost, the land, you are not paying upfront. You are saying that it's a lease. It is what we generate from that land that you use to pay the rent. So you negotiate that and pay nothing until you begin to generate, then you pay based on what you have generated, the percentage. Then, of course, you've got land, the equipment and all this other things. To raise that money is not difficult because if you have a cooperative of maybe 1 million people or even 500,000, and you say that membership is 20,000 or even 10,000 naira. You take 5 billion naira and then you have land. You have 5 billion naira, you have a cooperative that's about 500,000 people strong, and then you have off-takers. The marketing board is ready to buy what you produce and pay you cash. It means then that it is easy to tell a bank, convince a bank that we have everything ready. We have off-takers. Within a few months we can begin to pay that money back. You will easily get a loan.
How do you want to generate these off-takers? International?
The off-takers, you have good marketers. The marketing board now that buys this thing, buys the produce, packages them appropriately according to international standards, or even add value. For example, if it is yam, process them into yam flour, or maybe make a pharmaceutical grade starch from the yarn. They will source for buyers within the country and outside the country. Within the country alone, you know that you can start Benue farm markets. If you have Benue farm markets, farmers market in each of the states, Port Harcourt, Kano, you know that if you go to Kano, they will say you Benue oranges, and because they are Benue oranges, they are even more expensive. They will tell you this is Benue orange. In Abuja here, I bought mangoes. They say one mango I bought for more than about 200 naira. When I talked about mango, they said, this is Benue mango. You know, they just mentioning Benue mango alone increases the value.
What can you say is the need of the Benue people as it is now?
First and foremost, every Benue person needs peace. They need to have security in their lives and properties. Their families have to have, they have to be assured of security. Of course, their children have to have access to good and quality education, to health care. I think most of our people need just these basic things that other people need. Not every Benue person is looking for exotic things. Good roads, good health care. Their children have to be taken care of. The children have to have a future, to have hope for a good future for themselves. Just like we used to do, Benue used to export intellectuals. People like me they were seeking for me because Benue schools trained me very well. Now you can't say that. Our schools have become, the lowest quality. If you compare Benue State in the area of education, look at Ogun State has 17 private universities. Most of them, 17 universities, most of them private, have affiliation with international well-known universities like Harvard, Yale, and Oxford. In Benue, we have just Benue State University, and yet many of the classrooms are not even enough to contain the students. Many things are lacking to make the graduate competitive. My dream is a rich and prosperous Benue, a secure Benue, a Benue where we unite together as a family, where there are no divisions, where there is no division, no difference between an Idoma, a Tim, an Igede, and a Tilo. A Benue where our children have hope for the future. A Benue where we have the best quality of education, the very best quality of healthcare. Food is abundant. We are truly the food basket of the nation. That's the Benue of my dream.